Hello and welcome back to a creative process video. In this video, I'll be reamping sounds underwater using two hydrophones, a LOM Geofon, and a Bluetooth speaker. The two hydrophones I made myself, and I'll leave a link in the description to a video on how to make those. And I was able to buy a LOM Geofon, which is a very nice contact mic that captures low frequencies. The speaker I'm using is an IKEA Frekven. So before making this experiment, I made three types of sounds. The first one is a piano into a reverb. The piano is the Leco by Felt Instruments. The reverb is the Valhalla modulator. It sounds like this. The second one is a drum beat I made in Ableton. Here's an example. And lastly, I used a repeated note with the Ableton wavetable. I concentrated these three sounds into the mid-range and higher frequencies because the lower frequencies don't translate well in this speaker, and that's also why they're in mono. For the water setup, I used two drum stands with the hydrophones attached to them, hanging into the tub. And the LOM Geofon has a suction cup, which allowed me to stick it to the side of the tub to capture the bass and overall tub sound. This went into my sound card and computer that was in the room with me. I started recording the sounds as the tub was filling up, so here's an example of how the Geofon sounds. And how the Hydrophone sounds. As you can hear, the Geofon really captures the bass frequencies and the rumble, and the hydrophones are the stereo image and higher range frequencies. Both together combine very well and give this sort of result. Now, the three audios I had prepared beforehand, I put onto my phone, which is sending it to the speaker via Bluetooth. The speaker I put in a plastic bag with utensils to weigh it down. So I took the speaker and submerged it in the water. And the first problems I ran into is that it seems that the Bluetooth connection needs air to connect to the device. And so anytime that the plastic bag would close around the speaker because of the water pressure, the sound would cut. So this was a problem I tried to fix by taking my phone, placing it closer to the bag, and using my hand to try and create a space for the air to pass. This worked a bit better, but not good enough. I'll still let you hear the example of the sound cutting out. So here is the hydrophones, and then the geophone, and then both together. So after trying for a few minutes to fix this, I decided to simply put my phone in the bag. So I removed the speaker, put my phone in the plastic bag with utensils, and took out the air so it would sync better. And this worked perfect. So now with the phone speaker in the tub, I'll let you hear the example with every mic and combined on all three sound sources. I found that this worked very well and almost too well because you get less a sense of the sounds being underwater because it sounds very clear. And so while I was emptying the bathtub, I decided to put the speaker back and record. And now the sound is mixed with the bubbles and the water movement, and it seems to give a better impression of being underwater. In the past, before getting the Geofone, I had done some experiments with the hydrophones only, and what I had found is that while reamping sounds underwater, what helped give the sensation that you're actually underwater was to pitch down the sound. So either stretch it or pitch it down, and the bassiness gave a better impression of being underwater, as I think that's how your ears hear the sounds when you're actually underwater. You don't hear the high note information. It's mostly bass rumble. So here's an example of some bubbles before. And after being pitched down. And so as you can hear, it feels more like you're underwater because you get surrounded by the bass. It's more muffled. And so this is a trick you can use to make it sound more watery. In the future, if I could redo this experiment, what I would do is put the speaker and the phone, link them with a patch cable, place that in a bag so I wouldn't get the Bluetooth problem. The sound would be direct, and so I could get a better sound quality underwater. I would also maybe try to make some hydrophones that have some sort of preamp inside because the signal was very low. And another experiment I'd like to try is to have an aquarium with two speakers on the bottom, shooting the sound into the glass and capture the vibrations in the water. But I don't have the space at the moment. All the sounds I reamped in this video and more, like water movements, bubbles, rumbles, and different mics, are available as samples through my Patreon. And if you liked this sort of video, you can follow me on YouTube or Instagram. And I hope this video gave you some ideas and helps you out with some creative process of your sound. And that's it. Thank you. Bye.